Doing long distance trips, expect things to break. What is going on, YouTube? FXDLS Brooklyn is back in the building, and we were just hanging out. You know, we were picking some stuff up from the local CVS over here, and we noticed Kevin's horn just dangling down. I don't know if you could see it, but he straight up snapped this bracket over yonder, and that horn was just dangling down. And we've been using the horn a lot on this trip, so that's a very important component of this bike. The road captain had some zip ties, so we took care of that really quick. And the most valuable part of this bike is safe now. The horn, of course. We're gonna go meet the old man Armstrong over at the gas station, gas up, and we're gonna keep it moving. But the reason why I make this video is because, actually, if you saw one of my previous videos, I actually also broke a bracket. I broke the bracket for this oil cooler, and it was dangling down, hanging off on the highway. And same crew, actually. Same crew, and we were able to save the day with a zip tie. And I make this video because we're about 2,000 miles into a long distance trip, and I'm just making this video because this is normal. This is normal everyday stuff that happens on a bike trip, which is things break, things fall off, breakdowns happen, things often don't go as planned, and you gotta embrace that, and you gotta take the good with the bad. It's all part of the game. That's not it. We've had other breakdowns on this trip. You know, we had Vongashphalt's bike with his beautiful paint job. He actually had an issue with this shifter, where this was actually starting to just completely strip down to nothing, where he was not going to be able to shift his bike. His solution to that back in 2020 was to tie a phone charger around it and create some makeshift suicide shifter. And, you know, we weren't trying to have Vongasphalt end his trip in such a manner. So again, I know a lot of you watch this content and follow this content because you either just do the bike trips yourself, or you're someone who is getting yourself prepared and amped up to do your own long distance bike trip. And this is part of the game, man. Let's see, we've had 3 out of the 5 bikes here have some sort of breakdown along this trip. And again, we are only 2,000 miles into the trip. That's like not heavy mileage for a trip like this. So it's all part of the game. And the way, and again, it's been me a lot, you know, through all my bike trips. You've seen it in my videos. I'm pretty honest and open about it, because again, like, you do see a lot of the highs on my channel, the views, the good rides, the good times. But again, I also try to be very clear to show off the hard parts and the dark parts of the bike trip, which is, of course, the breakdowns and things not going as planned. And if you're trying to push yourself to do this type of riding, you have to come in with the mentality to look at those situations like a puzzle or a riddle, rather than looking at it as an unfortunate circumstance or something that's going to ruin your day. You really got to look at it like a challenge or a riddle, or something to figure out in the moment, because that's what the bike trips are all about. There is a aspect of challenge in doing this type of riding, and it would not be fun otherwise. That's why for a lot of this content, I close it out by saying challenge yourself to do the bike trips. You know, I don't say do the bike trips, because again, doing this type of stuff, especially on hot rod Dynas, is 100% a challenge. We're not running baggers, we're not running touring models, so straight up, these bikes were not designed from the factory to do what we're having them do. So the stuff that I try to show you, whether it's a breakdown on my bike or one of my friend's bike, is really important as all the as important as celebrating all the victories and the good times on the road. You gotta take the bad with the good. You gotta take the bitter with the sweet. And that's how it is. Does it work? Yeah! That is the most ratchet horn I have ever heard. I don't even know if the video picked that up. But hey, y'all, at least it's attached to the bike. That's Kevin, man, my 124 Hot Rod Lowrider S brother. But yeah, that's what the bike trips are all about. And again, yeah, when they're happening, especially when they're happening to me, I don't get frustrated even in the darkest moments anymore. I just do my best to look at it as part of the entire experience in totality and look at it as a puzzle. And again, I've been fortunate in a lot of my breakdowns to always have my road dogs with me, which again is a big source of relief when this is happening when you're, 2,000 miles from home. That's all I got for this one. Figure I'd fill you all in on the experience as it's happening. So as always, stay safe and stay low. Do the bike trips, especially challenge yourself to do the bike trips. And on that, FXDLS Brooklyn is out.